What's up, movie lovers? I'm Mike, and this is Gotta Love Them Movies. You guys, so much has happened. So much has happened. I've missed a lot of stuff. Well, I haven't missed a lot of stuff. I've been engaged in a lot of stuff. New York Comic-Con happened. Tons of movie trailers have happened. The end, well, I pretty much covered the end of the summer, but like early fall, like lots of movies have happened. So like so much has happened. There's a lot to get to. Just know that this is, in fact, the review for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. But that being said, we have a lot of things to address. So we'll get to the review in just a second. Okay, first, we have, you probably already noticed, but we have new graphics. A new logo from Josh Hollifield. So, yay, Josh Hollifield. Thank you so much for the new graphic, for the new logo. It looks awesome. I'm super excited for it. Also, coming soon, Gotta Love Them shows. I'm really excited. We've got Gotta Love Them Movies. We're doing a spin-off show. It's called Gotta Love Them Shows. It's going to be hosted by Zach Brown, my comedy partner in crime. So more to follow. More to follow on that. But it's super exciting, and I'm really excited, and he's really excited, and everybody's really excited. So cool stuff happening. Awesome. Next, because we were at New York Comic-Con, and there was so much happening. We focused primarily on filming, not so much for Gotta Love the Movies, but for Franklin Lucky Hill. So you're already currently on YouTube. You're watching this on YouTube. So go check out youtube.com/Franklin Lucky Hill. He's a really good friend of mine. He's a really good guy. And he's got a fun channel. He's got a lot of fun stuff. And he let me guest spot on his channel. There's 2 videos. We're doing an unboxing video, which is some really cool stuff that we picked up at New York Comic-Con. And second of all, just kind of, it's like a picture slideshow of all the stuff that we got up to at New York Comic-Con. So definitely check that out. All the links are going to be in the description below. Next, I briefly want to talk about some of the trailers that dropped at New York Comic-Con. Primarily, Power Rangers, John Wick, and Marvel's Iron Fist. I feel like this should be a separate video, but it's not. So Power Rangers, I'm just going to talk briefly about all these one-sentence-ish kind of things. Power Rangers looks really cool. I've heard some negative things about it. It's like, man, that doesn't look like the Power Rangers that I know and love. I've never really cared for Power Rangers. I mean, I'm representing up top, but I don't know. It's never been like my thing. And if Power Rangers was never really your thing, I think this movie could be really awesome. You know what? I'll take that back. Even if Power Rangers is your thing, this looks really cool. It looks updated. It looks fresh. It actually looks like something that could really, like, it looks like it's taking itself seriously, but like in a fun way. So I'm excited for Power Rangers. Second, what did I say? John Wick Chapter 2. If you saw John Wick Chapter 1, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous movie, but it's so cool. It's really good. And that's what the trailer looks like. And he's got a dog. John Wick's got a dog. I'm sure it's the same dog, but actually, is it the same dog? I can't remember what they did to the dog. They killed his dog, didn't they? But he got another dog back. Spoiler alert. John Wick's got a dog. So it looks cool. Moving on. Iron Fist. Marvel's Iron Fist. Technically, it's not a movie. It's a television show on Netflix. But I never took Iron Fist that seriously. Iron Fist was one of those characters in comics that I'm just like, sure. Why not? This TV show looks, what? It looks amazing. It looks so good. And that's all the more I'm going to say about Iron Fist. I'm very excited. Are you excited? Let me know in the comment section below. Hold on a sec. Let's put a poll out there. Are you more excited for Iron Fist, John Wick Chapter 2, or Power Rangers? This is actually a really fun, interesting thing. Check Twitter. I'm going to put a thing out on Twitter. Leave me a comment in the description below. So, yeah. Let's find out. I want to know. And why? Not just what are you excited for, why? Okay, do we get all the business out of the way? I think we got all business out of the way. Now we can talk about Miss Peregrine's Peregrine. It's not penguin. Peregrine. It's the bird. However you pronounce the bird. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I actually forgot that this was directed by Tim Burton. I don't know how I could forget something like that. It was like one of those things that's just like, whoop, slipped my mind. And then when I sat down, the opening credits started, and it said, directed by Tim Burton. I was like, oh yeah. I totally forgot. How could I forget a thing like that? Dumb. This guy. Anyway, I was really entertained by this movie. It was one of those films that I sat down and I started watching, and I was just like, I was sucked in. The opening was a little kind of like, it was meant to be wonky in this regard. It was one of those things where you're just kind of like, oh, like the opening, there needs to be huge contrast for what comes later. And I get that. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So that part, it was just kind of like, okay, sure. But if we're talking Tim Burton, there was a huge return for Tim Burton as a director, in my opinion. This is not the Tim Burton we've known for like the past 10 years. Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Alice in Wonderland. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, if you don't know, was based on a book, which was also turned into a graphic novel. And now it's a movie. So, it was visually breathtaking. And I don't want you to think that I'm using that term lightly, because it genuinely was visually breathtaking. There were things that were Ray Harryhausen-esque in this film, and I was like, wait, what is happening? This is, whoa! And it was stuff that wasn't in the trailer, and I was like, this is the coolest, and I loved it. I had a lot of fun watching this movie, and that's pretty much ultimately the whole point. So, if you're hearing weird, strange noises in the background, I just want to let you know that there is a poltergeist in my apartment. So that's what those are. So let's break it down. Acting. Asa? Is it Asa or Asia? Asia Butterfield? Asa Butterfield. I think it's Asa. Correct me, YouTube. Correct me. I feel like he was a really good child actor, and now that he's becoming like a young adult, something's happened. It's weird. Like it's weird. And I'm glad that they didn't cast him as Spider-Man for Marvel's Spider-Man. He did a fine job. He did okay. He kind of took it down a few pegs for me, though. I was surprised at how, like, there were moments that I was like, wait, okay, sure, that's his acting choice. That was his decision to do things like that. And, yeah, okay. And I will say the same thing about, oh shoot, I forgot his name. That guy. He's an English comedian. Oh, everybody's screaming at the screen right now saying, his name is this. English comedian. He was in Thor: The Dark World on a date with Natalie Portman. I can't think of his name. But I'm pretty sure my editor is screaming at me right now with a graphic with his name right there. And I can't see it because there's physically nothing for me to look at. But it's literally right here in the palm of my hand, and I can't think of his name. That guy. His acting choices were interesting. Here's the thing about playing apathy. If you're gonna play apathy, overplay apathy. And he kind of didn't. He kind of just played apathy. So it felt like he just kind of didn't care to be there. And as an actor, I knew what he was doing. Like, I could see the progressive steps that he was taking when he was making those choices. So I know, having played apathy before, very poorly, might I add, I understand where he was coming from, but it didn't really work. It fell a little flat. So, for that reason, But there was also some really good acting, so it kind of went back and forth a little bit for me. For that reason, I'm giving acting a 12. Directing. Tim Burton, like I said, this is not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This is not Alice in Wonderland. It actually felt, for Tim Burton, it kind of felt fresh and new, but it also felt dark. And also, a recent comment was made to me about, upon a recent viewing of Edward Scissorhands. Tim Burton has this way of building things up throughout the course of the movie that are like really fun and interesting and engaging and different and bizarre and unique. But then it takes a really weird dark turn at the end. And I'm sure this happens in the book. That being said, Tim Burton definitely, who also guessed, don't blank, because there's a Tim Burton cameo. So don't blink. But it does take a weird turn towards the end, and you're like, what? And that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun. When the poop hits the fan and everything just goes, what is happening right now? It's fun. Like, I was just like, inner Mike was just dancing away. It was really fun. So I really enjoyed it. Directing, Tim Burton, congratulations, 2 thumbs up. You're getting a 15 out of 20. Writing, the script. Again, this comes straight from the book. That being said, book to film adaptations don't always work. I feel this very much worked. And I'm very much looking forward to the next 2 installments. I sure hope there's 2 more movies, because this was a really good, fun movie. That being said, there wasn't anything about... Do I say that's being said quite a bit? I feel like I am. There weren't a lot of amazing breakout moments. Ava Green had some really good moments. She had some really good dialogue. Dame Judi Dench doesn't play a large role in the movie, but the parts that she is in, they're just fun. It's really fun to see Dame Judi Dench in this kind of a role. And I'm not going to talk about it, but it's fun to see her in this doing that. So writing, you're getting a 15 out of 20. So effectiveness, essentially what is the film trying to do? What's it setting out to accomplish? For me, that was fun. This was advertised as like a dark, kind of, not really spooky, but kind of eerie. There were some oddities that occur throughout the film. I think it's designed to kind of creep you out a little bit, but at the same time, let you have a lot of fun. And I feel like this is more fun that we've had from a Tim Burton film in maybe the past 20 years. I feel like with this film, Tim Burton actually figured out how to use CGI to his benefit. A lot of the other CGI stuff that he's done in the past has just been like, Tim, can we just stop? Just take a breath. Just take a minute. Just breathe it all in. He finally learned how to use CGI to his benefit. And it was beautiful. There were a few moments it was a little heavy-handed. I was like, okay. But the whole part, it worked. It was fun. It was interesting. It was engaging. And it was kind of emotional, too. Like, there were, if you are already familiar with the story, or if you've already seen it, let's be honest, this movie's been out for a while now. It was touching. If you have a relationship with a loved one on the level that Asa Butterfield does with his grandfather in the film, it's touching, in a creepy way, but it's good. It's touching. So effectiveness, you're getting a much higher score of 18 out of 20. So guys, what's the overall takeaway here? Overall takeaway is there's a lot of themes about being peculiar. It's in the title. What are things that set you apart from the world? Look at yourself. Take a deep inner look. I'll wait. So what is it about you that makes you different from the rest of the world? Embrace that. Don't shy away from that and be who you are. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Because in the world that we live in today, that's super important. Be who you are, guys. And don't be afraid of it. I think I said that like 3 times already. Maybe 2. So effectiveness, I'm giving you a 15 out of 20. So on the whole grand scheme of things, adding all the scores up together, Miss Peculiar's Home for Peregrine Children. You're getting a total of 75 out of 100. So guys, what did you think of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children? That's a mouthful. Can I just say that's a mouthful? Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. What did you think of the movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? Let me know in the comment section below. Also guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at GLT Movies. Guys, if you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is what... Who's the guy from The Exorcist? Was he in The Exorcist? Alright, movie lovers, I'm out of here.